We are delighted to welcome Meredith into our family. Really delighted. And we kind of went through this exercise and we thought, well, this is great. We thought of 10 reasons why we love Meredith. And Vincent and I said, well, we should do the same thing for Donald. And so we got another beer and we sat there for a little while and we only came up with 3 reasons. And one of them we can't talk about in public. And one of them we're sworn to secrecy. So, we love him, what can I say? So I am the Fog, the father of the groom, and I have been the father of the bride. And I must say the father of the bride is a much tougher job. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very big day. And so I would like you to give a big welcome and thank you and allow Jean to talk for a few minutes this evening, and then I think we'll go on to the ice cream social. So, Jean.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you. I hate public speaking. I really hate holding a microphone. And I can't really, better what was just said by Leo and Sean and all. It was very well thought out and, of course, very lovely. And I'd like to thank them for the most spectacular rehearsal dinner I've ever attended. I can't imagine it any nicer. And my wife and I, just real briefly, I'll tell you, I haven't rehearsed this at all. I'm just as completely contemporaneous. But, so the first time we met Donald, we had lunch with him in UMass Amherst. Meredith had talked about Donald and invited him to lunch. We were to meet Donald. And, the first time Meredith went out with Donald, Marianne was her usual paranoid Friday night mom and wanted to know his license plate number to make sure that everything was going to go okay. In any event, so we had lunch with him. And I hear this polite young man and found out I was an Eagle Scout. I'm like, okay, check. I like both those. And then he proceeded to order a piece of cheesecake, which was gigantic. And then, not wanting to waste it, he ate the whole thing, even though he felt like he was sick, So I said, well, he really is polite. And we walked out of there, and I said to my wife, I'm like, well, he's not bad, right? Yeah, really shocked. Not that Meredith hadn't had excellent taste in boyfriends before then. Talk that, but in any event. So anyway, it was we liked Donald from the first time we met him, and it's not just because he's tall and he can change the light bulbs in my house very easily, and that he changed the pool light in my pool with like 0 gravity. I don't know how he did it, but he's been part of our family, and we've liked him. We've always said about Donald, we think that Meredith set the bar really high for her sisters. And seriously, to a nice young man from a nice family. And I'll take the first adjective, and I just believe that, as a father of a bride, I think the most important thing you want for your daughter is a kind man, and we believe Donald is a kind man. So, from my heart, thank you. Now, somebody has to say something funny, because, as a father of the bride, I'm worried about being emotional over the next couple of days. Even in the church today, I'm like, oh, please, someone's got to either slap me or make a really nasty joke, before I go down the aisle tomorrow, so I don't humiliate myself. But in any event, so with that, I'm looking for a little bit of humor, and for number 10, I'm going to select Marianne.
I'm not sure if this is humorous, but one thing I can say that is humorous is I'm the mother of 4 daughters who always seem to be on a diet, but when Donald comes to our house, there is never enough food in our house. I thought, and I know, Veronica, you're having a newborn baby very soon, and they have to eat every 2 hours. Well, Donald, there's a lot of similarity. Newborn baby and Donald. He has breakfast at 8, 10 o'clock there's a sandwich, 12 o'clock there's another sandwich, perhaps another sandwich. I would think that that's probably the biggest difference between boys and girls. And having said that, having 4 daughters, to have never having had a son, I am so grateful and appreciate Donald so much to call him, and so proud to call him my son-in-law. That's it.
So emotional parents. I need irreverent sister.
Julia.
All right, Julia. You go.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm Meredith's sister. I love Donald because he's always down for a good time.
That's my team daughter.
I'm Rachel. I'm Meredith's little sister, and I like Donald because he's like the brother that I've never had, and I know he always looks after me and my sisters.
Hi, I'm Erica. I'm Meredith's third youngest sister.
That's right. Second.
Sister. Number three, yeah, I was close. Anyways, well, there are a couple things I really love about Donald, and one of them is that we share middle child syndrome, so he gets me on top. I think the best thing about Donald is that he just knows how to deal with us, and that's not an easy thing to do. Because he has witnessed either one of us being a lunatic or all of us being a lunatic. He remains calm, and he diffuses the tension, and he puts a smile on his face. So, Donald, you're a good guy.
I just want to share one other story about Donald. Not last Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving before, Donald came to spend Thanksgiving with us, and I picked him up at Logan Airport. And I'm driving him back, and it's just he and I in the car, and he said to me, he goes, Mr. Pacey, there's something I would like to ask you. And I'm thinking, what could this be? And then he explained to me he was going to ask Meredith for his hand in marriage. And I'm sorry, but my first response was, are you sure you know what you're doing? And it's a true story. But I was very honored that he had, again, the upbringing and the manners and the consideration to honor me with that question, which is really the right thing to do and the right way he went about it, which was great. And Erica was one who really burst into tears when she found out that he'd asked her to. That's what this made me think that Erica was just very touched by the whole experience. They went up to Turkey Hill in the freezing cold above my house where Donald proposed. And
You should tell the story about when Julia found out. Remember?
oh yeah, and when Julia found out,
Julie was out.
So one of the sisters, Erica, I think it was, called Julia and said, Julia, you have to get home. Get home now. Get home now, right? So, actually, this sounds terrible. So, Julia didn't know what happened. She thought something really horrible happened. She thought that something happened to my mother-in-law. She walked in, she ran in the house, and she was bursting into tears. What happened? What happened? And then we told her. I'm that's that story.
No, but our two friends, because she was so upset, her two friends drove her. And Laura and Rachel were all like, well, they were all crying, thinking something awful had happened, and then we were all happy.
It was just another female. So I have to include Kevin. Kevin was known Donald, I think, maybe the longest year. So sure, it's on, buddy.
Other than Vince, yeah. So Donald and I, we met, what was it, 7th grade, Mr. Ahern's history class. And he just, yeah, I don't know how he remembers that. And rest really quickly, which really shows his hard work ethic. And, I just don't know how he does it. And he still keeps up with it, with his schooling and everything. He's always bugging me to get back on the ice. And I'm like, I got to wake up earlier. He is, doing school and everything, and he still makes time for it. I just don't know how he does it. And Donald's just been a great friend. I think, one of the few regrets I have is being at school 3 hours away from you, and not once I was able to come see you. But that's changed now. So when I found out about their engagement, it was, right over Thanksgiving. I was literally in the middle of like a Thanksgiving dinner and checked my phone, and I was like, guys, stop! Like Donald's engaged. Like, everyone was like, so it was just a great moment. And the first time I met Meredith, I just knew they were meant to be together, And Meredith, please get this guy into heaven. And I hope she can do the same, or else I guess we'll be spending more time together.
Sean, I'm going to ask you to step up. You know Donald in college and after.
Things we love about Donald. Can we go to things we love about Meredith? That was a little easier. The thing I love about Donald is that he always kind of takes the time to kind of contact you and stay in touch with you, and he brings people together. I remember, we've lived so far apart for quite some time now, and he always will shoot me a text or shoot me a Snapchat, not all of which are appropriate. And he brought all the groomsmen together. We had a great time, and obviously I'm being introduced to all of you. And I will never forget the same night that they texted you about their engagement. It was Thanksgiving, and I got a call from them, and it was on speakerphone, and it was both Donald and Meredith. I was like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? I was like, oh, and they said, hey, we got engaged. And I was like, oh, did you get engaged, yesterday? Did he propose yesterday? They're like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, because Meredith isn't crying on the other end. It's at least been 72 hours. So, they always go out of their way to bring you into their circle. So thank you so much for keeping me in there. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so I didn't rehearse this, but Ike's, you're not off the hook on this one. Vince, you have to say something about your brother. Come on.
So my brother has long been a thorn in my side. He's also been the person I've learned the most from, I would say, taught me the most things. But probably would have to say that Donald and I went through just about everything together growing up. Boy Scouts, school, girls, friends. And I would be most thankful that Donald really taught me how to live. And it's true. Everything from tying his shoes together to sports. He's an amazing guy. I love you, man.
I have one other thought since we have the honor of Manny being here. Manny, you have to give us something.
This will be the best one.
First time I met Donald, he was 3 months old. And he was in my wedding. These 3 kids have been such an important part of my life. But one of my biggest memories of you, Donald, is you used to love to sing. And we would be driving along, and you'd be in the back seat, singing at the top of your lungs, and you make me feel like a natural woman.
And I say, certainly last but not least, Meredith, you're on.
I can't talk.
Oh, yes, you can. Go ahead.
I'm not standing up.
Squeak through it, Meredith.
You got it.
I'm gonna keep on crying. I don't know where to begin. I can't.
One adjective. Give me an adjective.
Adjective? I don't know.
This is my daughter. That's right. He is the man that's always been there for me, no matter how crazy I've been, or how, no matter what, he's always been there. And I know I can always lean on him. And that is just, you have your family, and he's just, to have someone that you've met and that you've learned to love every single little thing that they do, even if it drives you crazy. Like taking out my laundry out of the laundry basket and only doing your own. I love every single bit of him. And I just can't wait to meet my husband. So.
Aww.